let me tell you about the first one. So the very first one is Not Another Guru. And the story behind this, and to why I'm inspired every day, is that think of inspiration as like breathing in. That's your insight, and that's the things that, you know, really make you think, wow, that would be great. But it's also about breathing out. It's about movement. It's about actually something happening. It's a bit like motivation, you know. You can say you're motivated, but if there's no action as a result of it, then, you know, it's not worth anything. So think of inspiration as that. When I say I'm inspired every day, what I mean is that I get insights every day that actually make me want to exhale, actually go, move, do something, various things. And with a lot of people think, well, it's all about self-discipline and thinking really hard and creative thought and things like that. It's just the opposite. If you go looking for inspiration, you'll find it really difficult to find. It'll become really hard work in various things. And one of the worst things is the self-help industry and gurus. Now, a lot of my best friends are actually motivational speakers, so Adam Corbally, Brad Burton, all these people, and they're absolutely great. Now we've got AI, anybody can produce a self-help book on motivation, on inspiration, on all these things. They can produce them like in a week, where they used to have to research them and do months before of work and various things. So there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books, and that's kind of like a dopamine thing as yourself. You can become addicted to seeing motivational and inspirational speakers. Now, back in the day, my story is, I was chief executive in the early 1980s of a company called Amway UK, a multi-level marketing company. Now, I've seen how motivational speakers can actually manipulate people to actually buy their goods, buy their services, buy all these different kind of things. And then you'll say they were inspiring or whatever, like people have said with our Be More Happypreneur show, it's inspiring. But not really, it's just been a shot in an arm, and then they'll have a crash down. So if you're addicted to self-help books, you read that self-help book, and then you go on to the next self-help book, and you'll never end up doing anything. That's what happens to a lot of people. So actually, that's for people looking for inspiration and looking for motivation, and that's why I say, not another guru. I'm not another guru. I'll put that sign on the back of my jackets when I'm actually doing speaking. So I'm not going to say what the psychology is, I'm just going to meander through a number of things that will actually help you understand about inspiration. So the first thing I do, which is not another guru, is that I just love the company of people that I find inspiring. And Jenn Crowther, who's one of the people there, who's chief executive of this whole group, is one of those happy-preneur, inspiring people, and that's why she did the show with us, and me and Farah as well as another one. And I have one person that I've said is my inspiration. Now, I've only met her about 5 times, and she's actually come along to speak at different awards events and the major events I've actually had. And her name is Kanya. Now, she doesn't need to be in the room to actually inspire me, but I often think, and inspiration's got to be in context. So in the same way that we say, if you're starting up a business, ask a business owner that actually will understand your customers and will actually understand the type of business you're running. Ask that kind of business owners to help you. Don't ask some generic bloke who's run a financial services business to help you run a cafe. It doesn't make any sense at all. Kanya founded the MOBO Awards the same year I founded a national organisation called Small Firms Enterprise Development Initiative in 1996. Now, I've been able to see how she's changed the culture of music of black origin in Britain. And she's done it all when nobody said it could be done. Her background, and I lived in Kilburn for a while in my early days, she's a lot younger than me, but I know what it was like living in Kilburn at the time that she was a young child and various things, and her background, she didn't have any of the advantages. Like me, she did an English degree, but she only, I think, lasted a year of it for various reasons. She had a child at a very young age, but she actually knew she had a particular skill, and that was in terms of booking talent. She remortgaged her house, and she actually started up the MOBO Awards. And I thought, in 1996, when I wanted to, so it was about 1998, I thought, you know, it is possible without any money at all to actually create movements. And I've created about 4 national movements since then. And it's all been based on actually observing from a distance the actions, and this is what's inspiring to me. It's not the words, it's the actions of Kanya King, CBE, in terms of actually transforming the recognition of black music in Britain. And her major thing was, number one, she got a television company to persuaded them that they'd actually film the event, but there was no budget, there was no money for the event. She managed to get Lionel Richie to come over from the States to the very first MOBO Awards. She managed to persuade the Prime Minister to attend the very first MOBO Awards, Tony Blair, and it was such a success, and it was so loved by her culture, and it was so honest and truthful and inspirational, that from then on she was able to start getting sponsors, running events and things like that. But it requires huge amounts of volunteers, huge amounts of persuasion. Well, I needed to do the same thing with all the movements that I've set up, national movements, since. So what's inspiring to me is that I have a passion for doing things to help all startups in the UK survive and thrive, because I know that 80% can survive the first 3 years if they do a certain number of things. I also believe that independent businesses like this, other than the chains, do more for our communities than everything else. Now, I need to set up movements, volunteers, lots of people that believe in my passion to actually work with me to do it, just like Kanya King has actually done with the MOBOs and many other things that the MOBO Organisation has done since. So that's inspiration for me. That's why she's my daily inspiration, because my passion has always been about giving everybody the best chance of surviving and thriving in their own business. So I draw on the inspiration of Kanya King, CBE, every day, because it's in context with what I want to achieve in my life for some other people.